you have this little access panel. Okay, this little access door opens up, and then you'll see this little charger. There's two different styles. There's this style, and there's a silver one that sits about this high. Line it up and plug it in as best you can. And then make sure this collar isn't locked. So as you do that, you preheat the switch. Sometimes in winter times up to 30 seconds to hold it, and then hit the switch. It's like a turnbuckle style. If you look inside here, you can see it unlocking.
Turn it, man.
Right? So now it's unlocked, they can pull the container off.
Tapos, magapod jay. Ita, manigit kanton. Kita kanto dita. One. Ayan guys, good morning. Ang kasama natin si Jay. At siya na yung pinag-drive ko. Para
Please drive to highlighted route.
magamay din niya yung pag-drive ng sasakyan natin kahit itong personal vehicle. Actually, nag-aaralan ko pa rin yung siyempre, alam nyo naman, magiging kasama ko siya. Sabi nga nila, kung ano yung attitude mo sa pag-drive mo sa personal vehicle mo, ganun din ang magiging attitude mo sa truck. So, ito, pang testing ko lang din kung gaano siya kaingat din sa personal vehicle, kaya siya yung pinag-drive ko. So, may purpose pa rin yung ginagawa ko kasi tinitignan ko rin siya, yung driving attitude niya, kung gaano siya kaingat. At yeah, ito na po yung last orientation natin kagahapon. Naging topic kahapon is continuation ng rules nila, yung policy. At yung ginawa namin is kami ng dangerous goods. At ano pa ba yung mga iba? Maalala mo?
Mga dangerous goods, tapos yung pagdak dun sa lablo.
Hours of service, US and Canada, tinalakay namin yon. At meron ding exam. Pagkatapos ng may mga exam, hindi na yung kahirap yung exam. Para hindi ka nilipasa, para ibagsak ka pa nila. Siyempre kailangan din naman nila ng driver, kaya nga nag-hire sila. Yun lang naman yung basic na ginawa namin ulit kagahapon. At saka ngayon, meron pang natitira yata na gagawin namin yung tungkol sa pag-operate ng GenSet. Yung reaper, yung container van na more on magiging load namin ni Jay. Kasi yung ruta namin is pin to pin from Lipawa to Delta Ocean Trailer, Vancouver, doon sa British Columbia. So pin to pin. Kaya ang sabi nila, diretso mo lang. One. Loko tayo tayo, Jeff. Seti lang ito pag-i-request na niya. Jeff, naka main street, di kantuang kumaligid. Guys, pasensya na kayo, nag-Ilocano lang kami konti kasi itong GPS nililigaw kami. Kung saan kami pinapadaan na. But anyway, yan, at ngayon hopefully si J.E. ano na siya kasi hindi pa siya ano bang gagawin siya ngayon?
Pinaka-last naman na yung road test kasi hindi niya nagawa kahapon kasi nagmamadali na umuwi.
At saka wala nang oras. Sana yung employment road test niya yon ngayon pagkatapos nung GenSet na gagawin namin, papamiliarize sa amin yung pag-operate ng generate ng yung reaper ng GenSet. Pagkatapos nun yung road test, and then doon na namin malalaman yung kung kailan kami magsisimulang biyahe. Pero sana baka makaalis kami ng Sabado ngayong week na to, para dire-diretso na, para wala nang masayang na panahon. Yung truck natin, pinaprocess na yung mga papeles, permit. Tatanggal na nila yung previous company decal. Ngayon ikakabit na lang yung current employer decal. Inaantay lang natin. On the way na tayo mga kaibigan at nandito tayo ngayon sa Main Street, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Nakita nyo yung malaking ano dyan, parang castle na simbahan. Hopefully mamaya kung payagan ako nung hiring manager, kung may covered ko yung kanyang pag road test, I mean yung kanyang pre-trip inspection, maganda. Pero kung hindi, isa-summarize ko na lang sa inyo mamaya yung mga ginawa. Tanungin natin si Jay kung ano yung ginawa niya doon, mostly pati yung air brake, kung paanong pag-i-explain, kasi tatanungin lang naman na hindi naman actually yung kailangan mong isa-isahin yung yung air brake test, not unlike kukuha ka ng lisensya mo talaga. Yun ang yun ang gagawin mo. Okay. Alright. Diyan lang ipark, di lang ipapakan tayo. Alright guys, nandito na tayo ngayon sa facility ng Truffers. At yan, antayin lang natin yung oras ng schedule. Dito. Yan na lang. Katras mo dyan Gente, ito likod mo nga yung nasa likuran mong yung slot dyan mo para wala siyang katabi. Minsan yung mga yung mga pag nagbukas sila pinto, wala sila pakialam kahit tumatama sa sasakyan mo sasakyan ng iba may mga driver talagang ganun o may-ari ng sasakyan, they don't care. Okay, mga kaibigan, abangan lang natin. At pupunta na kami ni Jay sa loob ng orientation room.
Do that. Otherwise, you'll be pumping that thing all day. Okay, so this, if you get lucky, you can actually pump it, and then at the same time, you're doing this, right? Because you have no access here.
Oh yeah.
Right? So now you're doing this little, circus act trying to get this in. You're pumping this and starting at the same time. It's going to be a challenge, right? So that's why I don't run out of fuel.
No, you don't want to do that.
No, that's for sure.
It's a GenSet.
Now I don't take the calls anymore. So if oil gauge not working, don't panic, because if you look here, this little wire here, okay, this is your oil switch. It sends a signal to your oil pressure. That wire sometimes breaks. This wire will break off.
Okay.
Okay. It's not a big deal if you see it running at no pressure. Don't worry about it. Just let us know that that's the issue, and then we'll get that fixed up. Okay. So you got the oil pressure, amperage, hour meter, and a water temp. Water temp usually runs high all the time, so don't panic and thinking there's a problem. It's normal.
Okay.
So you got 2 axes to fill up the coolant. This one you never see because it's up in the chassis.
Oh, yeah.
So you just
So
put your
that's-
coolant up
yeah.
in there. Yeah. There we go low on coolant, which you shouldn't, because otherwise it'd be a leak.
Okay.
So on here, you have two switches, okay? So you got your on switch, okay? And then you got a preheat switch.
Okay.
And with the preheat switch is like, you guys are pretty young, but back in the day you used to have glow plugs, okay? On each cylinder. Now they have an air heater. And what it is like an element that gets red hot and sucks hot air into the cylinders. So as it's turning, it's sucking in the hot air. So as you do that, you preheat the switch. Sometimes in winter times up to 30 seconds to hold it, and then hit the start.
Okay, so you're gonna preheat first.
Yeah, always
For a
preheat
distance
first.
again,
Yeah, and then fire
change
it
it
up.
up.
And then in winter time when it's really cold, hold the preheat after it starts, just to make sure everything catches and takes off, and then she'll be
Okay.
good to go.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a matter of just playing around and getting used
Yeah,
to it. You'll get comfortable once you play around.
It's
with it.
it's my,
Like doing it and doing it.
Yeah, exactly. You'll get the feel
Yeah,
for it, right? So
it's my
so
first
that's-
time to pull GenSet. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you'll like it. But it's not that different from a
Is that
truck,
okay? Just
right?
take a
It's all-
picture of the engine
Yeah, yeah.
to add my
So-
vlog. So
On here, like when all the panels are on, you have this little access panel. Like this. Okay, this little access door opens up, and then you'll see this little charger. There's two different styles. There's this style, and there's a silver one that sits about this high to access your battery. Okay, so that's what that panel is all about. You don't have to do anything because
Yeah.
if the battery dies or the charger goes, it's got to go to a shop. So don't
Yeah.
boost it because it's not a regular.
Like
That
battery.
doesn't run off an alternator. It runs off
Yeah.
a generator, and it takes 260 volts or 80 volts, converts it into DC voltage to charge this battery. So if you boost it, you're going to screw up something in here or fry this.
It's-
so don't
yeah,
boost it. I've seen it.
it's a big damage.
It will, yeah. And these are, $14,000 generators, so we got to be careful.
Oh, it's a $14
No
generator.
boosting from your truck, okay? Because you can either damage your truck or damage service, and then make sure you can actually line it up and plug it in as best you can. And then make sure this collar is locked in place, because what happens if it's not locked,
Yeah.
this cable, this plug will
Yeah.
make its way out, right? So, okay, so that's that. And of course, again, tie it up. Okay, very
So
important.
this is how it's a different design, right?
Well, there's 4 different types we use. There's Carrier, which is this one. There's Star Cool, Thermo King, and Dakin units. So they're all do the same job, but it's just that they
Different.
different, exactly, yeah, different manufacturers, different companies, yeah, yeah. Now, and then on here, the fronts are different from the back. So the backs are like a turnbuckle style. If you look inside here, you can see it unlocking.
Turn it, yeah.
Right? So
Oh,
now
okay.
it's unlocked, they can pull the container off. Just make sure you turn it back, lock it in place, and then that's locked in place, and it's locked on the chassis.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
the
And
lock.
it's got a heavy spring that holds it in place pretty good. So.
And there's another one in the side
The
too.
exact same on both sides, yeah. And the fronts are the same on both sides. Now up here, you'll see all these numbers and stuff. When you go into port in Delta, you got to make sure that door's clear.
No, okay.
Okay.
Like usually in wintertime, summertime I always do neck and that.
Yeah.
But make sure it's clear when you go into port, because otherwise it'll
They
get
won't,
off.
they won't see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to see the numbers,
Yeah,
right?
see the
So
numbers.
we usually wintertime you got to brush it off because of the snow, but just make sure it's clear. Okay.
Great, see, that's it. Yeah.
These cables are broken,
Uh huh.
so make sure you have a bungee cord in your truck. So when you open the door, just put the bungee cord on here and just
Oh, so that.
Okay.
hook it
Just-
underneath somewhere.
So this is the purpose of
Yeah, so
things, right?
these ones here hold the door open.
Until then.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That'll hold the door open when you back in somewhere to load.
Okay.
But sometimes those cords are broken.
Oh, okay.
So when you open the door, just take a bungee cord and just attach it somewhere underneath just to hold the door open.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it's going to swing when you go to
Yeah.
pick up.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And it'll hit something and then. So,
Your only access is that to the door, right? So, and again, do your checks. Cable, that's that cable that's coming in from the front there. Breaker switch, make sure it's on the on position. It's usually on all the time, but there's the odd time that it will be off. So flick it on and then start it up like I showed you. Now there is sometimes when you have these things, wire, you hook everything up. That's the biggest thing. Make sure everything's hooked up perfectly.
Lakay Pinoy Trucker.